guys, what's up? It's Raven, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made this DIY wig with a closure and some bundles. And this is the same closure and bundles that I showed you last week in the last Wild African Wednesday. I showed you how I dyed this hair this pretty red maroon color for Valentine's Day. You know, I like to be themed and be kind of tacky sometimes, but you know what? You don't have to make it red if you don't want to. If you don't want to have red hair for Valentine's Day, that's fine, but don't judge me, okay? I'm living my life, you live yours. So yeah, I went ahead and made a DIY wig out of those bundles and that closure, and I'm going to be showing you how I did it. I used the glue method and then I sewed the closure on, which is a method that I've already shown on this channel actually. I showed it a while back, but I wanted to kind of just show it again and kind of redo the tutorial just so that it would be a little bit more clear this time. Maybe you can see it a little bit better, learn it a little bit easier. And I wanted to answer some of your questions that you asked on that last version of this tutorial. So hopefully this will be a more clear tutorial, something easy to follow and something easy to recreate, because it actually is very, very easy. So yeah, I used the Funmi hair, Funmi, I think. I don't even know how to say it, to be honest. It's a new texture from the Wild African line, and it's just this spiral wave, I guess you would call it. I think mine came out more of a wave than a curl for the simple fact that I bleached it and then dyed it back to back. That can kind of loosen the curl a little bit, which I don't mind because I kind of was going for this beachy look anyway. Obviously if you left the hair in its virgin state, it would probably be a little more curled up, because no matter what, when you bleach and dye hair, it is going to kind of straighten it out a little bit. So yeah, it's kind of like this spiral wave. It's a little different. I don't know how to exactly explain it, but it's different. I know you guys have seen wavy hair before, curly hair before, but this type of wave, I kind of want to say it's kind of like a Hispanic-y, beachy wave. I don't know. It's really pretty. It's kind of a tighter wave, but yet it's loose at the same time. I don't know. The Funmi hair. It looks like this. You kind of decide for yourself. So yeah, you guys probably saw in the actual dyeing video when I first took the hair out of the box, it was kind of all clumped up into one spiral. Obviously now it looks really different after dyeing it. It looks like this, like just a typical beach wave, like closer to that. But when I first got it, it was all in one spiral. So I don't know, it kind of just depends on how you wear it and how you style it, but I think it's an interesting texture and I like the way that it came out. So yeah, if you are interested in learning how to make your own wig out of some bundles and a closure in a really easy way, then just keep on watching. So I'm just starting off with clean, freshly washed hair, and yes, my hair is natural. And then boom, I have cornrows. I got my roommate to braid my hair so beautifully for me, and I parted it in such a way where it's kind of strategic. I made sure that I had at least one middle part and one side part. That way I can switch my wig around if I want to. And then you're just going to need a dome cap. I got this from the beauty supply store, and it's just this black dome cap with an elastic band. Also, you're going to need a plastic shopping bag, some hair glue, and some scissors. So Wild African sent me 3 bundles of this Funmi hair, and I also have a lace closure that goes with it. And as you guys know, I already dyed it. And then I'm just going to put on my dome cap on top of my braids. Make sure your hair is at least braided down or slicked down or something. And I'm going to take this white eyeliner and draw out the placement of my closure. So I'm just kind of putting it right on top of my head, making sure that the edge is hanging off the edge properly, and just trace around it so I know where to sew my closure later. Last time I think I sewed my closure on first and then glued the tracks around it, but this time I'm doing it backwards and I think it's going to work a little bit better. So just take off your cap, put on your plastic bag, and then put the cap back on. The reason why we're putting a plastic bag underneath it now is because we are about to glue tracks onto this cap, and we do not want the glue seeping through the cap and getting onto our real hair and thus attaching it. So the plastic bag is going to help prevent that. So when you take these Funmi bundles apart, you will see that each bundle is actually made of 4 little bundles, and it's basically 4 little mini bundles into one. I'm not exactly sure why they do this. I think it just has to do with the texture of the hair, but I actually kind of like it better because it's easier to work with these smaller track amounts rather than the full-size bundles, which when you unravel it, it's a super long amount of track and you kind of can't handle it very well. These little mini ones are easier to work with in my opinion. So as you just saw, I measured the first track all the way around my head from edge of closure to the other edge of the closure, and I applied glue on it. So now I'm just placing that around the perimeter of the cap from the closure to the other side of the closure. So in the last tutorial that I did for this, you guys asked me where do you place the first track, and just put it on the edge of the dome cap, as close to the edge as you can get it. And then from there, if you have some smaller pieces that are not long enough to go all the way around from side of the closure to the other side of the closure, that's fine. You can fill in those smaller pieces as you see me doing here. So I placed the last bundle of the little mini ones, so now I have one full bundle and this is what it looks like. So moving on to my other two bundles, I'm just going to take the second shortest bundle, apply glue to the pieces as I've been doing, and apply the pieces to the cap. It's pretty self-explanatory. You guys can see what I'm doing here, just going from the edge of where I drew that closure line all the way to the other edge, and if I have shorter pieces, just filling them in. Basically, you just want to make the tracks fit where they fit. I also get a lot of questions about using this glue method. You guys are wondering if it's secure enough, and yes, I don't have any problems with the glue slipping or sliding or ripping out for the most part. You can actually wash this wig and everything as long as you don't use super warm water. You want to use cool water and avoid getting water on the glue just to maintain the integrity of the wig as much as possible. But for me, the glue is very, very secure and I do not have a problem with it. So here you just see me placing my very last track, and I am just tracing this track all around that white eyeliner line that we drew for the closure. So it's just one long track going all around that closure area. You want to make sure that you place this last track perfectly because it is going to be the anchor track for our closure when we sew it on. I actually only ended up using 2 bundles for this wig. I actually have one whole bundle left and this is what it looks like. So now we are ready to sew our closure on. So first take off the wig and take out the plastic bag. It should come off pretty easily. It might be a little bit stuck, but it should still come off pretty easily. And then you are just going to have yourself a little space for the closure. So I'm going to be taking a styrofoam wig head, and these can be bought at the beauty supply store as well, and put the wig onto the head. And in order to attach this closure, you are going to need a curved weaving needle, which can be bought at the beauty supply store, along with hair weaving thread, and I just have a dark brown color. So I'm just threading my needle with a little bit of thread, and then we're going to be attaching the closure onto the edge like you see here. So I'm going underneath that anchor track that I talked about and up through the closure with the needle. So underneath the track, through the cap, back up through the closure, and then tighten it, and do that all the way around until you get to the other side. Once you get your closure completely sewn on and you reach the other side, just knot it off and cut it off, and it should look something like this. You want to make sure your stitches are kind of close together so that it's secure. So now that you have your closure all sewn on, I just went in and cut out that piece of the cap that was underneath the closure because I want the lace to be able to show through onto my scalp and just show a little bit better rather than being on top of that black cap. And then just go in and cut off the excess little strip of lace that is hanging off the front of your closure. Just snip that right off. And from here you can add your choice of clips to your wig if you want to add some clips around the perimeter just to secure it, but I did not add any to this wig because the elastic kind of makes it stay just fine. So now I'm just parting the hair and spraying it down with some water just to get the part going in the right direction and lay the hair down like I want it. And this is just a part where you customize and style your wig. So I didn't like the little baby hairs they had around the front, so I literally just snipped them right off, and I liked it much better like that. I'm also just cutting some layers into the hair and just kind of messing around with it and seeing how I want it to be styled. So yeah, this is the finished product of the wig. As you can see, you can easily switch it from a middle part to a side part just by scooting the wig to the side. And yeah, so I'm going to be doing a styling video for this hair with 3 different hairstyles that you can do with this wig for a Valentine's Day date. So look forward to that for the next Wow African Wednesday video. Other than that, I hope this video was helpful in teaching you how you can make your own DIY wig. It's really easy, trust me. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!